Oh, what's up, everybody? Once again, it's Brand Man Sean, and I'm recording straight up off the phone, man. I usually do these on Sundays. Of course, this is brought to you by BrandmanNetwork.com because I signed it myself. But yo, man, this fake streaming stuff and this fake influencer stuff is getting out of hand. There's some really, I got a really wild story. Like I'll wait, but first I got to talk about this. $1.3 billion. $1.3 billion. That's the number, the amount of money that they predict to be lost in 1 year just on fake followers. Companies paying for brands, but those brands having fake followers, so they're losing the money that should have been associated to real advertising campaigns, should have been associated to real influencer campaigns. Now, how is that relevant to you? Where they're saying so much of that is not only related to music, and that was like by CNBC or something like that. I can't. Yeah, it was CNBC, and then Rolling Stone also reported that $300 million alone is being lost on fake streams for artists. Fake streams, and I know a lot of y'all have had troubles trying to find quality playlists. We can get to that in a second because Spotify is getting real weird right now. But let's look at it this way: there's these three types of playlists or types of streams that people go through, and two of them are highly relevant to artists. Number one is just the whole, network thing. I go to your playlist network, you have a playlist, and then a lot of these playlisters are getting fake streams, right? You pay to play, and they got fake streams, and now you got jugged. That's a common way, and we already have plenty of videos on how to sift through those people, so I'm not going to talk about that here. Another interesting thing that's affecting artists less, but it's affecting Spotify and some of these other companies, is people are doing fake albums, right? Taking things like leaked Rihanna tracks. That was one real scenario, and created a fake Rihanna album and let that thing stream. And they were able to collect a check. They let that thing stream and were able to collect the check with a fake Rihanna project because of course people want to check it out, and it was leaked tracks. So they really got the money up off of it, which is an interesting thing in itself, because Spotify is really a zero-sum game when you look at it, the way some of these streams work out, the way the platform works out. So when one person is making money on Spotify, some artists are making money, it actually starts to take money from other artists, the way their whole pooling and share system works. Well, at least in some instances. But that's not even as bad as the third thing, which a lot of artists are for real facing. These fake streams, the technology has gotten to a point where you can pay for streams and it can be fake streams, but they run those fake streams through real accounts. So technically they're real streams. Let's just say I want to get my stuff streamed, and I go to this third party guy. You might have a Spotify account and you never heard of me, but I can hack into your account and have your account listen to me. So it'll register as a real stream, but you actually never heard my music, right? That's a real thing that's happening out here, and it's affecting people's numbers, right? It's affecting a lot of stuff, as you can imagine, and that alludes to a very similar situation that's not just on Spotify. I encountered this. The first time I heard about some mess like this was when I experienced a mess like this. There was an artist, and this guy had, his numbers looked kind of funny, but it was only if you really watch closely, right? Otherwise, things kind of appeared straight up legit. But if you watch closely, okay, yeah, you got a lot of followers, but you got a lot of likes, and you got a lot of comments. All that stuff seems to add up, right? But if you research, and somebody else kind of did this for me, who we were in conversations with this artist, and what we found was, if you reach out to a lot of the people who make comments on that person's video, and these are legitimate comments, if you reach out to these people who had comments on this person's video, you'll find that these people will be like, wait, what? I never heard of that person. What are you talking about? And then you can screenshot and show them the comment on that other person's video, and they'll be like, yo, that's crazy. I never even heard of this dude. Like, it's weird that I have a comment on their profile, and it looks like a legitimate comment. It's not even just a random heart. That's how complex these algorithms are getting. Not these algorithms. Some of these fake, like, little fake scams are getting at this point. So you can for real feel like, yo, they got me the likes, they got me the comments, they got me the followers, they got me all of it. And you check every box that you think is relevant to make sure you didn't get scammed, and you still got scammed. It's a very real thing. It's a very real thing. And then I know some companies that are doing a combination of fake and real followers, and that's a whole nother overly complicated thing. Because my biggest gripe with those that I know of, and I'm talking about very, very legitimate artists, big artists, are using these people too. It's like, bro, y'all can get so many real streams. Like, for real, they can't get a lot of real streams. It's like, why are y'all doing the fake thing for us to have to go back and filter through? It's stupid, but it's a real thing, right? So artists have to understand that, one, that's just a part of the game, and you have to be on your P's and Q's at this point. And it is not only an indie artist thing, being afraid and feeling like they're getting scammed. The biggest of the big companies are facing this. The biggest of the big artists are facing this. But then some of these people are doing it knowingly, which is just a whole nother strategy and game, because so many of their deals kind of rely on certain stuff. But that's a whole nother thing, right? But keep in mind that this industry is in a very weird place, and companies are trying to figure it out, because Spotify has grown so quickly. They actually, for real, do not have the technology in place to prevent and handle certain things like that at this point. So people are taking advantage of it. But that's kind of the point. When you create a system that's based off of numbers, people are always going to figure out how to hack and game the system, because people are just trying to win, right? All we need is the superficial metrics. Cool, I'll get the superficial metrics. And that's just a reality of the game. But watch out for some of those that are really like next level, because I don't know, man. The first time that I went through that scenario where the person's comment was on the video and the person had never heard of it, that actually blew my mind. I'm not even gonna lie. It blew my mind for a good minute. But the thing is, you see Spotify is trying to solve this. Part of it is Spotify being able to keep stuff in the house, and you know, it'll help some monopolization of certain things, or control of certain things between them and labels and all that kind of stuff. But part of it really is, when we look at these playlisters, right? These fake scamming playlisters, it allows them to create quality control. Because if we allow these playlisters to really run rampant, then of course there's going to be a lot of bad actors. There's a lot of good actors too. There's a lot of people who are doing quality playlists, but the bad actors are the ones that are creating a reason to justify Spotify just monopolizing the situation and say, hey, we're only going to do our own playlist, right? We're not going to allow third-party playlists in that fashion, or any kind of pay-for-play in that fashion. And then the indie artist is like, wait, so we can only submit to Spotify, and that's the only way we can get on these things? Sounds like more of a traditional gatekeeper situation. And I've never been one to believe completely the whole no gatekeeper type situation that people try to sell today. Yes, you have far more ways, far more gates, but there's still many gates, right? There's gatekeepers in certain scenarios. But of course, that doesn't mean that you can't just build your thing from ground up and create your own gate as well. But very few people like really have what it takes to do that, because people just aren't patient enough to do that for real. You can do that. You won't have to worry about these games if you take that time to do that. But this fake thing, $300 million on streams, fake streams are being paid. This fake streams a year at this point, and 1.3 billion on just fake followers alone, right? That's a lot of money. And look, the only way to adjust for it is to be agile and to pay attention to the people that you're dealing with, and find some trustworthy brokers. If you can find some trustworthy brokers who show their face, then you'll help yourself be a lot better off when it comes to having streams, right? Because those people who show their face are far less likely to be somebody to screw somebody over, because people know how you look. Y'all dealing with all these companies that aren't, right? We're just doing email. What do you expect out of these companies? What do you expect is going to happen, right? And at the end of the day, look, I gotta say this. Look at pay for play this way. If you built a platform, right? If you build 100,000 followers on your social media, maybe if you build 1 million followers on your social media, how would you feel if people were like, bruh, what's wrong with you? I should be able to post on your page for free. Like, nah, like that's the fact that you want me to pay you to post on your page. Wouldn't you be offended? Wouldn't you see it weird? Wouldn't you say, yo, man, like I built this platform. I deserve to be paid in a lot of circumstances if I want to advertise these people. That's all pay for play is. People complicate this thing where, oh, yes, pay for play on the radio, and that's a horrible thing, and it's pay for play on whatever type of platform. And it's a horrible thing. Look, I don't necessarily do that in a lot of situations. Like, I'm more about, do I like the music, and I make my money other ways. I don't have to like charge people to get on my platform. Like, I don't do videos of artists based on if they paid me or something like that. But at the end of the day, it makes sense. No, it makes sense. You want to get paid. That's why you're going to get brand sponsorships and things like that. You want that. It's not that complicated. So I don't think people should have a gripe with pay for play at all. It's like, can you pay or not? Oh, you can't pay? Then cool. Keep moving. But there's nothing wrong with it from that basic principle standpoint. Now, people selling the idea that, yes, it's supposed to be about quality. If you're trying to think about that and all these other things, that's a whole nother game. And either way it goes, even if it wasn't pay for play and it was about quality, well, what are we saying now? We're saying that it's whether somebody likes you or not, or likes your music or not. And maybe these people don't like your style. So there's always going to be some blockage one way or another, or some potential barrier. You just got to figure out how to make it shake for yourself. And at the end of the day, you're going to be best off if you are deciding to build your own platform, however you build your own platform. That's the best way I look at it. All right, I can't wait for somebody else to approve me. I can't wait for somebody else to say, oh yeah, you're dope. I can't wait for other people who are playing the game in a way that I don't care to play it to actually be accepting of me, right? I run my race. When I run my race, eventually, when people come around, they come around. Other than that, it just kind of has to be whatever it is, because too many people are wasting their time on all of these systems when those algorithms, they're playing that game. They're always playing this politics game. They're playing this battle for control. Like they're doing all these things, and that don't have anything to do with you. When they benefit you, it's not because they're trying to benefit you directly. And when they hurt you, it's not because they're trying to hurt you directly. It's not about you. So if you want it to be about you, you have to be controlling your own platform. Building on borrowed land needs to be recognized from the jump. Okay, I'm building on Instagram, I'm building on YouTube, I'm building on Facebook. And while I'm doing that, that means I need to be aware and be building out my own land. I need to be nourishing my own land so then I could sow some seeds, reap the crops, all that good stuff. So that means I'm constantly over time taking stuff into my own platforms. Because if you don't have customer information, if you don't have people's information, you don't have anything. You're just renting. And most people are renting. That's just the nature of these platforms. I get it. You've probably heard this before. You need to hear it again if you haven't actually started building those systems. So, hey, as always, have a great weekend. It's almost over. It's a Sunday. And this video is brought to you by BrainmanNetwork.com, because I signed myself. If you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. If you like it, you might as well share it. If you're not subscribed, you know what to do.